Hi YouTube. So I've had my appointment today with the endocrinologist, and look, I have 4 of these boxes, which will last me for 3 months. They've put me on a dose of Sustanon 250, so one of these every 3 weeks for the next 3 months to see how I go on it. And then they'll either up the dose or lower it or leave it the same depending on how I'm responding to it. So yeah, that's it. I've not had my first injection yet, so I don't have anything to report on that. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do my T videos. I don't know if I'm going to talk about the physical changes all that much. I might do a little bit, but that seems to be done a lot. So yeah. So there's my tea, and here's the rest of it. I suppose you'll want to know about the appointment. Well, even if you don't, I'm going to tell you. So I went with a friend of mine, and we went in, and the doctor seemed really nice. She was a nice lady, and we talked about my general health, and then we talked about what I expected from tea, which I told her realistically what I expected, and she was really happy with that. You know, she thought that like the expectations I had were pretty, dead on perfect, and really realistic, and not like, oh, I want the body of a god, and I want a beard that I can grow down to my balls, So yeah, that was good. She took my height, she took my weight, my blood pressure, checked my breathing. Basically, I just had a general health check. I didn't have to take my binder off because she's got really used to working around them, so I didn't have to do that. I had to take my socks and shoes off though. And so she could like test the blood pressure and things in my pulse and my feet, to make sure it was consistent throughout my entire body. So yeah, then we discussed the effects of testosterone and what I can expect and when. We discussed my blood tests. My potassium in my kidneys was slightly raised, but the rest was all normal. I was in there for about an hour, just sort of talking about various things. And yeah, it was pretty straightforward. It just felt like any doctor's appointment, any sort of medical assessment. And at the end of it, we signed a consent form, and I was given a hospital prescription. They can't give general prescriptions, which are the green slips of paper. They can only give hospital outpatient ones, which are the grey slips. So every time I have my testosterone, unless my GP starts prescribing it, I will have to go back to that clinic. I think for this time and the time after, when I go back there in 3 months' time, because I'm going to go back in July, I'm going to do it through them. But after that, I'm going to see about my GP doing it instead. I've not really thought about self-injecting just yet. Apparently the nurses will want to do it a few times first, and it's every 3 weeks, so it's not like a massive burden on my life to go to the doctors and do it. If it gets to the point where I don't want to be going there every 3 weeks and having an injection, then I'll ask and talk to them about self-injecting. So yeah, really quite uncomplicated. I should have made an appointment, or should have been able to make an appointment at my GP practice today, but fortunately they picked today of all days to close for staff training, so they're completely shut, the phone lines are down, so I'm going to have to call them up tomorrow. If there's a nurse available tomorrow, I'll get it done tomorrow. If there's not, I'll get it done another day. So yeah, I'm quite excited about it. Yeah, it just feels really good. It's not so much like, oh my god, I got tea. It's more like, well, that's good. A weight's been lifted off my shoulders. Although there is a lot of stuff to remember about, like when I need to get blood tests and how often it is, and booking in advance, and all of this stuff that I need to remember to do. which I will do. I don't have a letter containing the report and the medical and things like that just yet. That should be sent off at some point. I get a copy. My care coordinator gets a copy. The psychiatrist gets a copy. My GP gets a copy, and I get a copy of this sort of report encompassing everything to do with my hormone therapy. So yeah, that's it. And the thing that's most surreal, judging by the way that people usually respond to tea, this is what I have to say, and this is what really made me think. Okay. So, people's voices usually drop during the first 9 weeks. And so, this much testosterone, this much, look at the size of it compared to my face, this much very small amount of testosterone is gonna make probably my voice start to drop. If it takes longer than that, then 4 of these will make my voice drop. It could be 2 of these. It won't be 1. But this tiny little bottle of tea is gonna have a huge effect on my life. And that, my friends, is the most surreal thing to think about. That is how I'm going to leave this video. So, next time I talk to you, I'll be on testosterone.